Hello, hi. I'm swatching my Sennelier watercolour paints for you today. There's only 5 in this test set and I'll show you how to paint a sunflower as well. So I'm swatching these now for you and I'm just going to do a little leaf for you next to them as well. So Sennelier, these are a professional range. They're honey based and they're made in France. I'll leave the link in the description box so that you can see how I transferred from tubes to a pan. This is just a test pack as well. Like I said, there was only 5 in this particular pack. Sennelier watercolour paints are a professional grade. So with that being said, they're not cheap. I don't think they're the most expensive ones that I've come across, but if you're a beginner, it might be worth just getting a bit more practice in with other paints. But I'm going to do a really nice sunflower for you now, and I'm using the ... technique. And all I'm doing is for the centre of the sunflower. This is going to be half a sunflower, by the way. The reason for that is the sketchbook that I'm using is a Hong sketchbook, and it's not that big, and it is 100% watercolour paper, 100% cotton paper, and it's not actually that big. And I'm just using the Chinese orange for the centre here. And now I'm adding lemon yellow, still using the dot technique, just to paint around the the centre of the sunflower, because it looks like there's a few layers within the sunflower. Do you have this set at all, or have you been thinking about buying Sennelier watercolours? And what's your thoughts on them if you have got them? So I'm just adding another layer of the yellow. I'm using an Escoda brush size 8, and I'm also going to use an Escoda brush size 12, which I've now got here with just clean water. And what we're going to do is just create the sunflower petals by dragging or pulling out the colours from the dots that we've just done, just like this. If you've seen a couple of my videos previously, I've done exactly the same technique. We're basically using the brush to create the petals. Let the brush do the hard work for you. So I'm not drawing the petals separately, I'm creating the petals using the brush. If you haven't got this exact brush, then maybe it doesn't have to be exactly a sunflower. Maybe use the brush to create different types of petals. Because let's face it, we've all got different brushes. I'm sure you haven't got the exact same brushes that I've got, and vice versa. I'm sure I've got different brushes to what you've got. So use what you have. I've always said that in my previous videos. If you can't create exactly what I'm making here, just use it as a guideline. I'm just adding some more dots of the lemon yellow just to make the yellow stand out a bit more, and then we're just going to repeat the process. If you don't have these exact paints, no problem. If you've got some other watercolour paints, you can still do this. Compared to the paints I've used before, which is Winsor Newton, Shinhan PWC, which I absolutely love, that's my go-to paints. The way Sennelier watercolour paints flow is actually really nice on the paper and on the brush as well. I am working quite quickly though as well, because I can feel the paints or the water drying quite quickly. I think that's because of the paper. It's 100% cotton paper, and the weather here in the UK is actually quite warm. It's actually 29-ish degrees, 30 degrees, which is very rare for the UK. So I am working quite quickly. So here I'm using a really tippy, pointy brush, a really thin brush. It's still Escoda, and I'm just using the Payne's Grey to add in the centre of the sunflower. I'm painting sort of like the center of the sunflower, which is, it looks like lots of circles. So I'm just sort of trying to mimic that, if you like. What I'm going to do, if you did want to consider subscribing, I think I'm going to do a small series of flowers like this, half the flower, because the effect is quite different, and it's just interesting to use the side of the paper and create these half flowers. So consider subscribing. Leave me a comment as well to let me know if you found this useful and if you will give this a go. I've kept all of this in real time for you as well. The only bits I've cut out are just the bits where I've taken too long to rinse my brush, or whilst I'm working out exactly what I'm going to do next. But everything is in real time. You should be able to paint along with me, and I hope you get some really good results from it as well. What I'm doing now is, with the Chinese orange that's already on there, I'm just defining some of the petals so that you can see some petals that are individual. Even though a sunflower does have quite a lot of petals, I'm not going to individualize all of them, but it's just to give the illusion that there's lots of petals. And by that, I'm just adding in a bit of the Chinese orange. I'm grabbing some every now and then, hardly any water at the moment, and then I'm going to grab a bit of water, and then just, here we go, so I'm grabbing some water now, and I'm just going to blend it out so that it fades into the petals. It's quite hard to describe exactly what it is I'm doing. It is probably easier to show you, so just follow this process and hopefully that will make sense for you. If anything doesn't make sense, or if I haven't made something clear, please do feel free to tell me in the comments so that I can either explain it by replying back to you, or when I next do a tutorial like this, I can make sure I'm doing it 100% correctly for you, because if I don't know if I'm doing anything wrong, I can't correct it. So please do feel free to let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your honest thoughts, and obviously I will try and do my best to address them. So I'm just repeating the exact same process, adding some little bits in. Don't do it all in one go, just put a little bit of paint on and blend it out nicely like this, and look at the results. Aren't the results just absolutely brilliant? I think they're brilliant, and I just hope your piece of work has turned out brilliantly as well. Just keep going, adding in a few more little touches just to get it exactly how you want it. So I've just done the flower here, but if you are interested in painting leaves, watercolour leaves are still quite tricky for a lot of people, from what I've read in other people's comments and the comments that people have left me as well. So what I will do is, if you're interested in seeing them, I'll leave the link in the description box for some other 5-minute tutorials that I've done, just to show you exactly how to do leaves. I hope you found this useful. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you in the next tutorial. Take care. Bye.